Something that I'm sure other creatives can relate to is when you start a video or an idea and then you don't pick it back up for a couple days and that turns into a couple weeks. So this video has been in the works for a while. I'm leading music tomorrow at my church, and so I'm actually on my way right now. Just got done with a lunch meeting and I have got to go get the stage set up and tinker with, dial in sounds more professional, some tones and whatnot for the guitar. So that's where we're heading next. Why don't you come with me? Come along. Church has been one of those weird things in the pandemic. Like, I don't know if any of you guys go to church or what your people are doing, but we've been gathering outside, and which was going great. Like, we had some brutally hot days, and then more recently we've had some very, very, very cold days. Picture of my wife for Exhibit A evidence. Trying to find a plan that makes the most amount of people feel welcome and comfortable and safe is kind of the thing there. But one of the weird things is planning on, are we going to live stream or are we going to be outside? And we just don't know because the weather is very indecisive. And so it's time to clean up all of that. Tough to remember that productivity begets motivation. We've had a lot of gloomy days and it has just taken me forever to finish this video. Link to the video down in the description, Myth of Motivation. Give that a watch. But I think all of us deal with that, and it's because we're waiting for inspiration to come along. And that brings us finally to the point of the video today. At least I think it's the point. Being a creative, looking for that next story to tell, you always find yourself riding this line between being inspired and just flat out copying those people who are already successful. What's up everyone, Michael Tooley here with yet another video. Welcome back, and today we are talking about just being a... but that's not how they became successful. So how do you stay balanced? How do you glean inspiration without just completely imitating the people that inspire you? These two questions help me, and I think these questions will help you. Question number one, what are the universal traits? So what is it about that person or brand that inspires you that isn't trademarked? It isn't specifically unique to them and their style. And then question number two is, what do we have in common? And so you're looking for these universal traits that are shared by many different people, and then you're trying to match it up with things that you share in common with them. And then you just make it your own. To illustrate this, I want to briefly talk about some of the inspirational creatives that I find on YouTube. And if you're into filmmaking or anything like that, you're going to know these names and it won't be a shock to you. But the first one is Matty Hapoya. So let's just go right away and ask the questions. What are the universal traits? Well, the one I picked for him is that he's a positive guy. He's enthusiastic and happy about what he's talking about. And so he doesn't have this like negative, harsh spin on things. Even if he's given a critique of something, he just finds a way to be nice about it. And I really value that. And that's something that I want to glean. I'm like, when I make videos about things, I want people to feel like happy to be here. I want people to feel encouraged to be here. And so, yeah, that's something that I can take that inspiration, and I'm not ripping the guy off. And speaking of enthusiasm, that brings us to our next guy, which is Peter McKinnon. And I kind of did that little cutaway just to illustrate this perfectly of like being inspired without imitating and not being cringeworthy. But that guy is so funny and enthusiastic. Like, he can get you excited about like the leaves. Yeah, make sure somebody else tells you that you're funny. Don't just assume. I should probably ask somebody. Next on my list is Becky and Chris. And for theirs, the universal trait, this one's kind of a cheat, I think, because I definitely ripped him off. I just straight up ripped him off. And that is the aesthetic value that I see in all of their videos. It's clean, it's very pleasing to the eye. From their B-roll to their Instagram feed to just the way that they decorate their house. It's just very appealing. And so you'll notice in my studio that we put together, we have a really dark wall, and that's completely inspired from them. But yeah, as far as a universal trait though, they value aesthetics. They value a nice looking video. They value interior design and all that kind of stuff. And those are things that I value as well. That's something we have in common. And so it's not exactly cringeworthy for me to have a dark wall. It's not like, oh, this guy's ripping off Becky and Chris. Nobody even knows who I am, so it's totally fine. Last but certainly not least on this list is Jesse Driftwood. And I think the universal trait I'll pick from him among all these, like a lot of these bleed over, like all of these people are positive, all of them are really funny. But for Jesse Driftwood, like I know him, for Jesse, you know, my good buddy, but for Jesse Driftwood, it's his creativity, the editing style and the things that he does. He really comes up with ways to tell stories that keep you engaged. And that just like triggers something inside of me in a good way that I want to be creative. I want to find unique ways to tell stories. And that kind of brings about a bonus tip. And that is that aspiration is okay. Just make it your own. Because some of these things, like, I don't know, like positivity, I don't necessarily consider myself an optimistic, positive person, but it's something I aspire to. And certainly in my creative realm of making videos, I want people to be engaged and like feel good after leaving and not feel like they just watched somebody gripe about something for 20 minutes. And so, yeah, but also whether it's creativity or humor or aesthetic value, like all those things are things that you might have a little bit of, but you want to get better and you want to improve your craft, and that's okay. Just make it your own. If you like this video, would you let me know by hitting that like button below and comment down, you know, some of your inspirations, maybe even link some inspirations on YouTube, and, you know, 10 points if you put my YouTube channel in the comments. That'll just really make me feel nice and validated. Subscribe if you haven't already, and you know what, go ahead and hit that bell so you get notified when I post videos. Yeah. Yeah.
didn't see you there. Hey there, got a question for you before you take on off onto the other web pages and whatnot. Do you want to see this channel grow big and strong? Well, I've got good news for you. We got a link down there in that little comment section, that description, and it's got just all kinds of merchandise and clothing and hoodies, and we've got some stickers you could buy. And it would just mean the world to us if you could just go on down there and click and click and click and buy yourself some nice stuff, support the channel. And you know, everybody will ask you what MJM is, and you can just tell them, what it is. It's this channel. You all have a great day. I'm gonna go.
Let's go ahead and hit play on there. What's up, everyone? Michael Chuli here with yet another video. Welcome back.
I wasn't prepared for it.
What's up, everyone? Michael Chuli here with yet another video. Welcome back, and today we are talking about just being a complete rip-off of other people. It's gonna be so good, and I'm so excited. It's fall, the skies are gray. Who doesn't love gray skies, except for everybody who's not clinically depressed?